Okay, so in this video we're going to look at how to use Desmos Graphing Calculator. This is something you might decide you want to use for your assignment, maybe not, maybe you want to use something else, but this is a tool that you can use when working through your Chapter 7 quadratics assignment. So the easiest way to get to it is to type in Desmos in Google and press enter. You'll actually see that the link to the original website is on the assignment itself, so you can just click that. But if you want to go, you can go straight to Google, type in Desmos, D-E-S-M-O-S, and we want to use the graphing calculator. So if you can click on that. Now, as we're using the graphing calculator, there's a number of different functions or features that we might want to use. The first one that we want to use is going to be to draw a quadratic. So I can just type in one. Now, if you're just curious to what I just typed, just go back. I press the X on my keyboard, then Shift and the number 6. Looks like an up arrow, but Shift, number 6, and then I press number 2 to make it squared. Press the sideways arrow, plus 2x minus 7, and we've typed in an equation. Now, you can write y is equal to, and you'll still have the same equation, or you can leave out the y is equal to. Either way, you will get the equation. So if we wanted to type in another equation, we just either press enter or we click underneath, and you can see there's another equation box here. So let's type in a different equation. And you can see as I type in the equation, it comes up with the actual graph here. So on the left, we've got quadratic equations. On the right, we've got the graph. If you want to hide that panel, you just press these arrows to make it go away, and you can drag around the screen or zoom in and out. There's a couple of other features you might want to look at. If you click on this bar here, this tool symbol here, spanner symbol, you can see there's a few things we can do. We can make the grid go away if we don't want the grid to be there. We can make the axis numbers go away, so there's no labeling, and we can decide what we want our maximum and minimum x values and y values on our axis to be. So let's say I wanted to zoom out a little bit on my y-axis. I could make this go from -20 all the way up to +20, and you can see it's done that for me. And probably the last thing that you want to do is, after drawing a graph, sometimes you might be interested to find out what are the turning points of this graph, or what are the intercepts. So one really great thing about this is you can just click on it. So I've clicked on the red graph, here I'll click on the green one, and you can see it's got the intercept 0, -1. It actually shows me where these two graphs overlap. This is not something that you need for this assignment, but it is a useful feature nevertheless. And you'll notice that there's no x-intercepts because it doesn't cross the x-axis. Whereas if I click on this red graph, you're going to get a few different points. I get 2 x-intercepts, I get a turning point, and a y-intercept. And if you remember, they're the main 4 points you need to be able to plot a graph. So just to summarize all of this, you can use Desmos Graphing Calculator to type in the equation of a graph. As you type it in, you can then use it to find the x-intercepts, if it has any, the y-intercept, and the turning point of your graph. You can also find any other point if you just click on that part of the graph. You can see it'll give you the coordinates. But that's it for Desmos Graphing Calculator. If you've got any questions about how to use it, please feel free to send through a question.